diet. Don't talk to me like that. I care to pull people out of the past and get them moving
A little
forward.
bit about your family too, for these guys so they know.
I have one.
Thank you for that. Could you be a little more specific?
I will be relaxed knowing that my children are being taken care of.
So thank you guys for joining me today. I think I was thinking about the transition, and I realized that a lot of people don't even really know Tod if they weren't with us from back when, right? I'm celebrating for you, kid, even though I'm kind of sad. 17 years is a long time, and it's been a good time. And really, the history with you was you were here from the beginning, back
Yeah,
When
before,
kids?
before Kandi. even.
before Kandi was.
Yeah.
So
Very few people can say that
Yeah.
before Kandi.
Yeah, there was a couple brokers, or at least one broker before Kandi.
thank God it
Believe it
wasn't
or
me.
not.
So I just thought it'd be good to learn a little bit about you and kind of your time with KW, your time in real estate.
All right, so been licensed since 2005, and I was at another company. When I got into business, I went to a large, what I thought was a very large company. I was there for 6 months and did a couple of deals, had a run-in with the broker and kind of their business model, and was introduced to KW, and here I am in May of 2006.
And so you stayed with us and you really grew as an agent and short sale agent, built a big team, ran other teams.
Yeah, I've been, when I got into business, I think the whole short sale thing got blamed on me. Actually, I got into business and
It was your
short
fault.
sales happened, and yeah, it's my fault. So I actually got some great advice from Dave Jinks back then, because I was kind of at a crossroads when the market started to really crash, and like, what should I do? Most people were going after REOs, and I didn't know if that would work for me, to be honest. And his suggestion was, hey, you should look at the short sale business, because those are people that own homes, and you'll build a relationship with those people when you help them get out of their home as a short sale, and you'll be able to work with them later in life. Very forward thinking. I was like right here, and he was 10 years down the road. It was great advice. So I did get in the short sale business, did a lot of short sales over 4 years or so. In fact, I had this conversation last night. I had to kind of reinvent myself in 2012, because I'd been in the short sale business, which was don't go on listing appointments. All I did was call banks and negotiate that stuff. And so 2012, I had to start kind of all over again and build another team. And I've run some big teams. I've run some national teams on the West Coast. And been around and done a few things.
And then you left us.
I did. I got a leadership
Shame on
opportunity.
him.
Yeah, shame on me.
It's an growth opportunity though.
Yeah, I had a growth opportunity for my business, and I went there, and I learned a lot. I was a managing broker for an office that had about, the company had about 580 agents in it. My actual office was about 280, which is about the same as here. And I did that for 3 years, and decided it was time to come back.
And we're glad you're back. It was kind of always my thought that when Kandi retired, you were going to be broker. And
That's actually the conversation we had when I went in to tell Kandi I was leaving. She's like, well, you can't leave, because when I retire, you're supposed to be the broker. And I was like, well,
Yeah,
I don't know if that's what-
we kind of all had it on our mind, and that's okay, because the leaving was an experience that will help here too.
Yeah, I mean, I was a broker over a pretty large office that had the same kind of, realtors and challenges and things that happen in this office every day. So yeah, it was a good learning experience. Might even been the best possible scenario, to be quite honest.
Very true.
Yeah.
Very true.
you probably could have learned more there in a short period of time. You would have stayed in, staying here doing real estate.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I mean. I got some experience there that I wouldn't have probably gained here, so it might have been a blessing in disguise.
That's true. And to talk about the timeline on all of it, Tod and I have talked a few times on the timeline and everything that happened when it happened, and the thought of if any one thing had changed by a few dates, this might not have happened. And I, for one, feel that all of those things fell into place for this purpose.
Did-
I agree.
The timing just happened so that Todd would be the one to be able to fill that chair.
Well, and talk
Oh.
about your experience with Todd.
Well, I'll never fill that chair, but I'll get to sit in it for a while. Right, I mean,
Lucky
let's
for
just-
everybody else,
Yeah,
though,
I'll
he's not
I'll get to
filling
sit
it.
there, but filling it's not really an option.
And there you go. It's, my experience with Todd, to tell everybody, my experience with Todd, and I have said this many times, and Todd has actually been within earshot when I have said it, not that he appreciates that I say that, but, Todd, if you only see him, you might think that he's grumpy. You might not.
Gruff.
I am
And
grumpy.
when he speaks, I will say that when he says, I am really angry, this is how he says it. I'm really angry. And if he says, that's absolutely fabulous, he says, that's absolutely fabulous. His highs and his lows stay in the middle. A lot of our highs and lows are like this. His highs and lows are like this. And when you understand that, then you believe the words, and you don't have to listen for the sound. One other, not so secret because I tell everybody, is that Todd is a marshmallow inside.
I'm on a diet, don't talk to me like that.
He is a marshmallow inside. He has the gruff exterior, but he cares. And if anybody comes to him with an issue, he helps them solve it. He does so very quietly, very gently, and the caring is there. All you need to do is
Yeah.
it's the secret's out, sorry.
So there's a lot of truth there. I'm definitely a problem solver.
Absolutely.
And my highs and my lows are definitely
They
not
are.
very high, not very
Not
low.
very low.
Yeah,
Kind of great for a broker though, because you're not gonna fly off the handle or get upset. You're just gonna get to the solution and.
yeah.
Right.
I'm a like, let's move forward. Let's figure out how to resolve this or get to a solution that's. I don't really. That's always what most people have a challenge with me is. I don't like to spend a lot of time in the back. Like I don't want to go back and talk about everything that's happened and why and it shouldn't have done this and this and that. Let's talk about what the issue is and let's resolve the issue and move forward and everybody can kind of move on with their business.
And that's not a sign of not caring. That is a sign of being, of the goal being to solve it.
Yeah, well,
Not
I
passion.
care to pull people out of the past and get them moving forward. That's the,
That
I think
is-
that's the way you're gonna grow your business. And the way, if you're always worried about what happened at the last transaction, it's just gonna slow down. And I'm just trying to speed people up. So,
Well, and I love Candy's marshmallow assessment because I feel like people see you and they're scared of you sometimes. Because you're like, oh, who's that guy? He's this mean guy. And you're more like a teddy bear is what I say. And you actually, I see it come out really clear with your grandkids. Like that's a time that you're just really, I don't know, is it letting your guard down or what it is, but it's beautiful. Tell a little bit about your family too, please, guys, so they know.
I have one.
Thank you for that. Could you be a little more specific?
He's not a troll under the bridge.
I've been married to my wife Paula for 26 years. So that should give some indication that I can kind of get through the tough times if I need to. We have 3 kids, a boy and 2 girls, and we have currently 4 grandchildren. 7-year-old boy, 7-year-old boy, 3-year-old girl, and a brand new boy that's, I'm gonna go with 5 months. It might be 6 months, but I think it's 5.
And I think if you ever want to get to Todd, that's how you get to him, to see those grandkids, because that's just kind of the way to his heart.
Yeah, they get whatever they want, when they want it, how they want it. Yeah, I tell everybody the same thing, get rid of your kids as fast as you can and get yourself some grandkids, because that's the best thing in the world. There's nothing better than that. So, yeah, I do love to hang out with my grandkids, no question.
Well, and I feel like we were talking today about just kind of a family sense of office, because I feel like we were interviewing somebody who we really wanted to be sure they into the family, because you're gonna have kind of a little bit of a different business model, right?
Yeah, and not one that you would really think would fit into our world at
Yeah.
at KW. Right? We have a very specific culture that we protect at a high level.
And Todd will be a protector of that culture, and he's carrying on the conversations too.
It's important.
But when Todd was here before on a regular basis, I always used to think, because agents say to me, you're just like, you're like my mom. And I say, yes, I treat you like my mom. You are children to me. I love my children. I'm not gonna get rid of them. But I love I love my children, and I treat the agents like my children and love them like my children. I tell them where they went wrong. If I have to slap their hand, I slap their hand, and I happen to end it with a hug, because that's me. But that is what I do. And Todd is very much like the dad he was before. They would come to me, they get an answer from me, they don't like that answer, they're gonna go to Todd. Todd's gonna say, what Kandi say? Every time, and he's like the father. And I think in the idea of the office being a family, that is exactly where it fits.
It's funny you say that, because that's 100% true. They'd go talk to you, and then they'd walk out into the bullpen. Hey, can I run something past you? And I'm like, did you just talk to Kandi? Yeah, what'd she say? Well, that's yeah, you should go with that. That's exactly what you should do.
And it fits, and so I think this transition is, in my eye, going to be easier than most transitions and most programs. It's going to be an easy fit. For the agents who don't know Todd yet, get to know him. You will find your life more enriched when you get to know him, when he is a part of it, and when you allow him to.
It's very nice. I don't know if that's true, but it's very nice.
It is. And if you want to get to know him without letting him know you're getting to know him, attend his classes. That will help.
I do like to teach.
You get the essence of him in a class.
Well, one of the things Todd brings too is just time with the board, because you spend a lot of time down there on committees and learning, and
You had to remind me of that.
I'm sorry, but you have spent a lot, and share with them some of the things that you've done.
I do actually enjoy committee work. I've been on lots of committees. I'm currently on professional standards. I chaired professional standards in 2022. I was in bylaws. I'm on finance, grievance. I chaired grievance for about a year and a half. I started what was then called the Trends Committee. I was the first organize that committee back in the short sale days. We were trying to keep agents up on what the trends or what was going on in the market. And that's the name of that committee. I think has changed now, but yeah, I've done a lot of committee work, a lot of time down at the board, and I enjoy that work. And so I think that also gives me a little bit of insight to kind of what's coming in the future. I'm currently on a very controversial committee for the state called the State Forms Committee. If you look in the paperwork, it doesn't exist, but we meet every once in a while. We're working on some state forms, and so yeah, I do that. I do have some experience down there. It gives me some insight into what other things are happening or what's coming down the pipeline, and I do enjoy that.
So Todd, I want to ask you too, about some of the fun things that we've done over the years. There's been a lot, and it seems like you were always kind of like the instigator in the middle of things. I remember we were going to get collect jackets and take them to the homeless on Owen Street, and then I came in and all of a sudden we were making peanut butter and jelly sandwiches.
Well, that was two different events, right? That was two different times.
The jackets were there and people were making peanut butter and jelly sandwiches.
Yeah, we bought bread and stuff, and they need to eat. They were cold and they need to eat.
Yeah, but we made 400 peanut butter and jelly sandwiches.
Yeah, it was a mess.
It was a disaster.
Covered in peanut butter and jelly, but
everywhere.
it was a mess. But it was fun.
I think Santa Claus was there to help us, and he thought we were so cool that he went and stood on Owen Street in the rain for 3 hours.
In the rain, yeah. We did hot chocolate and handed out. Was that jackets then too? think we did something else with it out there. It was
Jackets
clothing.
and blankets and mitts and gloves, it was
Yeah, it
cold.
was clothing, it was socks and stuff like that, yeah, so, yeah, I mean, I always try to do, some kind of, something to give back. I mean, I'm not always the one that thinks of what it should be, but I do tend to get behind it and drive it. We just did a holiday, we collected used clothing, good used clothing from a lot of past clients and a lot of people, and just donated that to NPHY and to Safe Nest, and there's one called Green, can't remember the name of that one right now, but anyway, we took all that and donated it. We actually had a company call us and say they had a bunch of clothes, women's clothing that were samples that they couldn't sell, but they were all brand new, still had tags on them. They'd been hanging in a showroom for like 2 years, and I know it made them sound like they were outdated, but they really were pretty good clothes, and that was, I think there were like 10 or 15 boxes worth of stuff. So we had 2 truckloads this time, which was cool. So yeah.
And it's usually on a bigger scale too, it's not really a small scale. I remember sleeping bags and it was like, I thought it was gonna be 100 and it ended up being 1,000
Yeah.
sleeping bags.
And socks.
Oh, yes, and socks.
And socks.
Mhm.
For the elementary school.
Mhm.
Yeah, and one time we've done backpacks for school several times. And I remember you reached out and said you were gonna order like 250 backpacks or something.
That wasn't enough,
Yeah, I think we did 1,000 or 750.
something like that,
Yeah.
yeah. He kind of doesn't take things on a small scale. I remember he came to me one year and he says, I have this $150,000 in brand new clothing and shoes from a place on the strip that's high-end kid stuff. And I can't give it to anybody because nobody will give me a letter from a 501c3. And I was like, hold on, we're gonna get that stuff, but we can only get it if we can get a letter, and so.
Yeah, that was cool, and that was really high-end,
Very nice.
Very nice, yeah.
Brand new.
Brand new and everything used, yeah. And, yeah, we were able to donate that to the foster system.
I think one of my favorite things, you started the kids at Nevada, MPHY, that had kind of grown out of it, because what happens is they're in the system and then they grow out.
So NPHY is Nevada Partnership for Homeless Youth. So there are kids that live on the streets, but they still go to school, right? They surf around at they couch surf, they call it. They stay at friends' houses and sleep on, but they still go to school, but they're still trying to get where they need to be in life. And NPHY is there to help them through that. There's a place there they can do homework. There's a place there where they can eat, right? Food. They can get clothing. They can get sundry items, stuff like that. And eventually they graduate out of that. They're not. I'm not saying they're not welcome there, but at a
They're
certain
past the age of 18.
yeah, they gotta figure it out another way.
Yeah, so talk about the event that we did. You did.
No, I wasn't me. It was we. It was the whole office. We had dinner. Like we had prime rib. I think that's the first time those guys had ever had prime rib. It was
We had
four.
prime rib and turkey.
Yeah, four young men, and we specifically knew who they were going to be, and so we went and bought and got things that they wanted. We got a wish list and the things that they wanted that they were pretty sure they would probably never get.
Like foldable computers,
Yeah, computers,
$200 shoes.
Jordans. One kid wanted Jordans.
Oh, did he make some noise when he saw those Jordans?
Yeah, well, actually, one of the agents in the office had them already, the right size, and he donated them to the cause.
Right.
Yeah, it was, we had dinner here at the office, and they unwrapped their presents, and
There was a lot of tears.
pretty cool.
It was really, really cool. It's cool event, so.
Yeah, we haven't done that in a while. We're gonna do that again. I know I left, but, you know, we
Well,
gotta.
now that you're back, I guess that's happening next year.
Yeah, we gotta brew that back up somehow, and get that stuff going. I do like to do that stuff a lot.
Any parting words, Kandi? Parting words for Todd?
Good luck. Here's my key, get out.
No, I know that you will do a fantastic job. I will be relaxed knowing that my children are being taken care of very well.
And you know I'll be calling you.
I know you'll be calling.
So all of you that think I'm gonna be calling you 100%. There's gonna be questions.
And I've already said I will answer.
How do you do this? And why would I do it this way?
Yeah, and I have one last story about a couple of weeks ago, whenever it was, you were in my office and we were talking about a situation, a transaction or whatever it was. And as we were talking about it and what we would say, we literally said the exact same thing at the exact same time, and we just burst out laughing. So,
Well,
It's kinda like you trained him.
No, you trained me. I mean,
In the
yeah,
beginning of real estate.
100%.
I trained him and he's like the one who listened and I'm sorry.
there's a few of us out
I
there.
trained him and it held. What can I say?
Yeah, no, I mean, I've been trained by you. I do the things I do because you told me why I do it that way and it makes sense. And so that's, yeah, it totally makes sense.
And because of that, if you ever ask Todd why, he will answer.
Yeah, I know
Because
why.
the same thing happened to him.
I have to know why. I can't do anything in my life unless I know why I'm doing it.
So he can tell you.
Yeah, I can tell you why.
I'm excited, thank you both.
Okay,
Very much.
I'm excited.